Resonance 10 is, as by many agreed upon, the biggest breakpoint for DPS characters in terms of cost to damage ratio. However, is that actually true? I spent all my stamina again to find out. How good are Resonance 11, 12 and 13 actually? In my previous video about Resonance 10, we found out that going from R9 to R10 grants somewhere between 7 to 24% more damage, depending on the resonance layout used. This will become important later on. As for the disclaimer, all tests were conducted in a solo environment, and adding team members will shift the actual numbers in one direction or another. The same applies for different Psy cubes, the enemies you are facing, and of course your resonance layout. Let's try to keep the testing setup short this time. Lilia is I3, level 60, P1 and uses Thunderous Applause at E3, level 60, A0. This was the resonance layout used throughout all resonance levels. There might be better layouts for higher levels, but I wanted to keep it as comparable as possible. As Lilia is a single target focused DPS, we focused on such. All tests were conducted in 421 hard mode and each run ended exactly after 7 turns. All other rules you can find in the testing sheet, link is in the description. After having Lilia kamikaze into the Lord of Dreams 105 times, the sheet reveals to us her average damage dealt is around 8366 per turn. This will be the base we will be comparing against. Shortly farming all the mats needed, Lilia ascends to resonance level 11 and has the sudden urge to run another 105 times. Doing so will yield us a damage increase of around 6% across all her abilities. That combined will give her an average damage dealt of 9611, which is around 15% higher than resonance level 10. At this point I want to get back to the average activity cost for the resonance levels. Going from R9 to R10 will cost you around 660 activity or 3.7 days, and going from R10 to R11 you will need around 1520 activity or 8.4 days. You will need to spend an additional 131% more activity for actually, well, less damage gained. And this is the point where I want to talk about something important, and it is even more important if you are free to play. The game will greatly limit you in your resources, and the resonance materials needed are time-gated as well. The current content does not require you to go above R9, even more so R10. You are better off investing into other characters and have them all around I2 level 50 or I3 level 1 and resonance level 9 than going all out on a single character. If you are hard stuck in limbo and have absolutely nothing else to upgrade, and I promise you certainly have, especially if you are free to play, go ahead. 15% more damage is not nothing, it is actually quite a lot, and that does not even include the defensive stats you will gain. However, you might also want to consider holding onto your resources to build upcoming characters instead of going beyond R10. That being said, let's still have a look at how R12 and 13 compare. Spending more stamina, Lilia ascends to R12 and goes for another 105 turns, in which she gained around 1.5% more damage across all her abilities, giving us another 5% additional damage over R11 and around 20% more damage than R10. Looking at Resonance 13, we have a damage gain of another 4% compared to R12, granting all our skills an average damage boost of another 4%. If you add up everything together, going from R9 to R10 will grant you around 24% more damage, and going from R10 to R13 will grant you 25% damage, which is around the same, but like 6 times more expensive. Actually, going from R10 to 13 will cost you around 4500 activity. To put that into perspective, bringing one 6-star character from I0 level 0 to I2 level 50 will only cost you around 2800 activity. So yeah, if you're thinking about going beyond R10, don't. Except if you really love that character, are a whale, or have to make content, invest those resources into other characters and get a stable account instead of doing it like I did. Thanks for watching. Peace.